Okay.
Welcome, everybody, back with me, Valerie Williams of Dimensional Talent Streams, redirecting you in being fruitful and multiplying. Again, I'm so glad to be back with you all this week, again, with another special guest, Power Pack. We're coming out the gate during fourth quarter with some great speakers that are coming to offer tremendous value to us. So if you are listening, watching, again, like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on ljdnpodcast.com every Tuesday and Saturday, and stay tuned shortly as we will be launching a sister station that Dimensional Talent Streams will be hosting, where you will be able to see that, hear that 24/7. So today, without further ado, we want to welcome Miss Joyce Whittington of Ladies of Justice Legal Shield. She is here with us today. She is going to be giving us the skinny just about what she does and why what she does is so important for today, just not geared only for business owners, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a mom, dad, business owner or not. This is for us all. And this is a woman that I instantly connected with without even seeing her, just messaging back and forth. She and I connected, had such awesome camaraderie. And before I even met her face to face, I said, let's come on to the show. Because we had such camaraderie just from messaging one another back and forth. But here she is. We get to see her lovely face and to hear the value that she is going to share with us today. So, Miss Joyce, welcome to the Dimensional Talent Streams podcast. I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm excited for sure.
Good, good. Now she is out of Texas, where it's hot. Everything is big in Texas.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's definitely out here for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us, what is Ladies of Justice? How did you get started with that? Where did this name come from? How does this connect with Legal Shield? What is Legal Shield? Why do we need Legal Shield? Give us the 411.
Well, first of all, I'm Ladies of Justice started several years ago, about 3 years ago. When LegalShield has been around for 50 years, and the president and CEO of the company thought, well, ladies need to have their say so. So because the guy, every great man, of course, was a woman. The men were getting the kudos, but the women were doing the work. So they decided to shift the formula and let ladies have our own platform where we can be ourselves, do it the way only ladies can do, and so we do a lot of socials. We do a lot of networking. We really empower the women and make them feel, that they're important, they're needed, and they're necessary. And so we just give them opportunity to just be a woman without having to all the hangups. If you're a single mom, a busy mom, a CEO, doesn't matter. But Ladies of Justice, you always have a place here just to be you, just to be you.
Great deal. Great deal.
Mhm.
So beside doing socials and so forth, how was that connecting with Legal Shield, and what exactly is Legal Shield for those who don't know?
Well, LegalShield has been around for 50 years, like I say. It started really from an accident. Our founder, Mr. Stone Cipher, he was a sharecropper's son, was first one to go to college and became a school teacher, and just wasn't making enough money for his family. So he decided to become an insurance agent. So he started doing life insurance. And
Okay.
he was doing great, finally got his head above the water. And then he was involved in a car accident. The lady who hit him was her fault, turning her car upside down. He was a miracle that he even made through the crash.
Mm.
But what they told him while he was in the hospital, that if the lady died, he was facing legal manslaughter. And even though he didn't cause the accident, people don't realize that if you're involved in a car accident, you got to prove that you did not cause the accident. So you still got to prove yourself. And
Mm.
so thank God she didn't die. But when she got out, she did sue Mr. Stone Cipher. Now she was rich. She was the one that ran the red light. She was the one that caused the accident. But because she was rich, she decided to sue him. Well, it put him in a very financial struggle, all the money he had saved, and then he had to borrow money to defend himself against something he didn't even do, that wasn't even his fault. So
Wow.
anyway, praise God, he won the case. But he got through. He said, I have health insurance. It takes care of my medical bills. I would have life insurance. If I die, my wife would have been taken care of, but
Right.
no legal insurance. So he went around, tried to find some legal insurance, and there was no such thing. And so that's how he got started. He actually, in Europe, in 1960s, you can't buy anything. Europeans always have legal insurance. You can't even rent a car without legal insurance there. So that's where the model came from. So he started, he struggled, and it was a major ordeal for him to get his business right, because lawyers, they didn't want it. They wanted to fight him tooth and nail. They were trying to shut him down. And he went through a lot of drama with them, attorneys overcharging, that kind of thing. But in the long run, 30 years later, became a New York Stock Exchange company. So we were doing better than actually Microsoft. We were one of the fastest growing companies around. So grew very fast. People realized that they, needed justice, but they couldn't afford. You had the super rich who could afford justice. And then you had the poor who get legal aid, but you had the middle class that didn't have access to it. So Mr. Sunslifer changed that. Now we have attorney generals on the advisory board. We have attorney generals that actually have the service, and we go to companies and employee benefit. General Motors, Microsoft has it. We also go to school districts and so forth. We do family plans. We also protect the small business owners. We know that having access as a small business owner, I used to own a limousine service myself, and I knew the value of having access to an attorney to make the right decisions. And so with LegalShield gave me that opportunity. So the law firms themselves, you're getting Oprah Winfrey kind of law firms without paying Oprah Winfrey price. And so you have collective bargaining power. So you have, say, any issue you may have, you have attorneys every area of the law, whether it's a tax attorney, real estate attorney. I'll say one lady actually, she had got a coupon for some free pantyhose, and they didn't send her free pantyhose. So the attorney said, well, let me write a letter on your behalf. And she got a whole year of pantyhose.
Wow.
So
It's very
so it
interesting.
makes it fun. So from the trivial to dramatic, you have unlimited access. Now we have an app called Tap Your App. It's called Don't Mess With Me app. So if you're having trouble with AT&T, you have an attorney write on this letter on your behalf. I've used it. Matter of fact, on AT&T, I had an issue with my fiber optic. They came, I was out for about 4 or 5 days, yet they want to charge me for that. I said, oh, that ain't fair, I don't think. And I thought, let me speak to your supervisor. You know how we do.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. That didn't work. So anyway, I called my attorney. They wrote a nice letter on my behalf. Didn't cost me anything, just part of the membership. And guess what? The headquarters of AT&T called me and introduced herself and said, we definitely gonna give you a refund back. So that's the power of LegalShield. And another thing for me is so important right now, with COVID happened,
Right.
most of us didn't get our love letter. And that's our living will, power attorney, financial power attorney. We know for one thing that we're not going to get out of this place alive. So it just makes sense to make sure that we have our love letter in place. It's just our last thing that we want to do for our families
I'm gonna
to
stop
show
you right
them.
there. I'm gonna stop you right there, Miss Joyce, because
Yes.
for those who are just coming in or who have been listening, and I like to grab, folks, grab these nuggets. I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat, and this was one of the reasons why I had to have this woman on, because of the value that she offers. But you said something very key. You said love letter. Define again for us that love letter. What is that love letter?
Well, that love letter in LegalShield is your will, your living will, your power attorney, your financial power attorney. Most people don't realize that um, you need all of those documents. So you getting their estate planning done is for you while you're alive as well. Because
Mhm.
say you can't speak for yourself, you're in the hospital with COVID. Who's going to
Mhm.
handle your financial problems if you don't have that in order?
Come on.
Same thing. I had one of my neighbors unfortunately passed away, and his wife was at the hospital. His lungs had stopped, his kidneys had stopped, everything had stopped functioning. He was from India, and they never discussed what he wanted done in
Mm.
a case of that situation. And
Yeah.
so the doctors told her, we can keep him alive, be on L-Tech, a plug, a trach, a feeding tube. And we don't know how long it's going to last, but you just want to let him die with dignity.
Yeah.
And so that was important. But she made the decision to let him die in dignity, but she always will be behind it. Is that what he wanted?
Mm.
And so now you can decide what you want, because so many families, when that time comes, take the mom off the plug, let her die in dignity. And then another family member says no. And that can really break the family up. That can cause confusion in the family because everybody's not on the same page. But if I decide what I want done, that takes the pressure, take the guilt, everything off the family. So that's one thing we should do. Definitely. So, and like I say, the financial power attorney, you know, it may not be a family member that you want to handle your finances. So you
Right.
need to
Right.
make sure that you got that in order. And you may want them to handle one area of your business, but you may not want them to handle all areas of your business. So you get a chance to set aside that before something happens to you. I had a young man, it was so sad. He was a business owner, and he came to me and said, oh, he was just distraught because his aunt was supposed to make him power attorney. She had $100,000
Mm,
that she was going to put him in charge of, but she didn't get a chance to do that. And the other aunt ran away with the money. And then, of course, now they should be close together. And now that put a wedge against them.
yeah.
And
Shoot.
most, most people too don't know. If you don't have a will, say you own some property, and say Katrina comes through, or like disasters come through. If you don't have a will in play on that house, FEMA cannot fix that house
Mm, mm.
because you didn't have a designated person to take ownership of that home. So
Well,
those,
I mean,
mhm,
you're really educating us, and that's why I love to use my platform to have other business owners come on and share about what they do, because there's so many things we can get so into our little space and wrapped up into what we do that we get tunnel vision, and we all got blind spots, and we don't
yeah,
realize what those blind spots are, and then our paradigm cannot be pushed out to see these areas that can be susceptible if we do
yes,
not have
mm,
other, people to glean from and listen to and hear their experiences and stuff like that.
yeah,
Now, because like I said, I'm on the edge of my seat with so many questions I want to ask you, because now I'm looking at you before we had gotten on and started live. We kind of talked about weather, and you're in Texas, I'm in North Carolina, and what's going on weather-wise, and what's going on in the economy now, and with the food industry, and so forth, and what's happening right now, and states not having rain and haven't had rain
yeah,
for 3 months, and how that's going to affect our food supply even more so. And this is
yeah,
not, I want to repeat, this is not to scare anybody. This
mm,
is to bring education. This is not to scare anybody. And
mhm,
if you do feel fear right now, then you need to grab a hold of that fear and
mm,
speak out of your mouth that you
yeah,
have not been given a spirit of fear, but of
yes,
power, love, and a sound mind. This
yeah,
platform is to
mm,
dispel any fears, any lack of knowledge, lack of
yeah,
wisdom, lack of discernment. This is
mm,
platform is for, to dispel all that. So if you feel fear right now, do not move. Stay where you are. Keep listening.
mm,
If anything, grab your cell phone and put your recorder on. Grab a pen and piece of paper and
mhm,
record, and
mm,
write down some of these nuggets that we're throwing
mm,
out at you.
mm,
And
mm,
rewatch
mm,
this video. Like and subscribe to Dimensional Talent Stream's YouTube channel. Listen
yeah,
to this contact information of how you can reach this woman. Follow me on, not only on my platforms, but take note of my information as well. This platform
mm,
is to keep
mm,
you knowledgeable. This platform is to wake you up if you're in a stupor. This is to give you empowerment. This is to, like I said, dispel any fears. So, with
yeah.
that being said, I want to ask you now, with the world changing so much and just where different states are, you mentioned in Texas and what's going on with, how the lack of rain is affecting you all. How
Yeah.
would you say that Legal Shield and what you do could come into play to help in some of those areas that we are facing as a result of COVID?
Well, legal share right now, I want to make it clear that living will, power of attorney, that's free. Free by the law firm. That's a gift as for your membership. It's only $29.95 a month. You get that for the husband and the wife or significant other, not both.
Mhm.
But you get that as a free gift done by the law firm, and that is like a $1,600 value for the family. So that's the integrity of our company. We want to make sure that everybody, have their house in order. There's no reason not to do it. And now the simple part is you're able to do it on the phone. You
Mm.
download the app, you're able to do your will wherever you stop at. You're able to finish it up on the phone and get added to your law firm, and they get that done. Beautiful paperwork. I've got it done, and you can update it every year for free. That's the thing, because everything changes, and so maybe you need to update it, and so you're able to do that for free. And so we love that. And with the weather and everything changing, we know that the economy is tight right now.
Mm.
We know we're facing, uncertainty every day, but we know that God is in charge. But God said, "A lack of wisdom, we perish." Not because He hadn't provided, it's because we hadn't learned how He has provided, and that's very true.
And that is so true. And that is another reason why I try to use this platform to give you guys knowledge. Remember, I said fear, lack of discernment, wisdom, knowledge. Because
Mhm.
sometimes it's just the fact of I didn't know, or not even so much I didn't know, but I knew, but I didn't know what to do with go to the
Yes.
next stage. And
Yeah.
so, I also want to say that it's not even so much that it's not good enough just to have the knowledge and to
Yeah.
do something with it. Faith without works
Mhm.
is dead. And so if you have the knowledge, now you need to do something with it and put some legs and feet to it. If you don't even take that knowledge and do something for you, do it, take that knowledge and do it for somebody else. Do
Yes.
it
Yes.
for somebody
Yeah.
else. I've got a video on that speaks about, how generous is your business? How generous
Yes.
are you in life? And what does generosity do for you? But to
Mm.
find out and answer that question, you're going to have to subscribe, like, comment, and look for that video on my channel. But so, like
Yeah.
I'm saying, and what this platform does, and having these guests on is to give
Mm.
you knowledge and then give you an action plan. How can you take that knowledge and put it into action? So, what she
Mm.
said is very key. You can have the knowledge and just sit on it, or just say, oh yeah, that's a real good, agree with it, and then you don't do nothing to it, and then you find
Mm.
yourself in a situation and you were like, you know what, I remember
Mm.
when, or I remember hearing, or and I should have, and I coulda, woulda. And we want to dispel that. We want you to take action. Just don't be like, oh yeah, that was a good little interview, that was a good little podcast. No, we want you to take the knowledge,
Mm.
do something with it, not even only for yourself, but do it for somebody else.
Yes, that is so key. Lack of knowledge repairs, and also faith without action is dead.
Mhm.
So that is another key. And one thing too, we know that creditors, with everything been going on, that they're going to be calling us. They going to harass you and try to get money out of you, do all kind of tricks that they don't supposed to have. Because some people call you even for a car you repossessed 10 years ago, because they're
Mm,
still trying to get that money. So
mm,
with LegalShield, you actually have access to call your attorney, and they will give you advice of what you should do and what you should not do, what you should say and what you should not say, because they are violating your rights, but you don't know it. But you'll go and agree with something, or maybe with a payment, and that payment starts all over again,
mm.
and you just got yourself in trouble. And they didn't have nothing; they tricked you and all that stuff. So knowledge is power, but like you said, you have to use it. Another thing is, for me, that I'm very passionate about, for the business owner, you should have a will. Why? Because who's going to take over your business? Who have you put in place that business is keeping your family together and providing income for your family? Who's the concession of that business? Who's
Come
going to
on,
take
come
over?
on.
And so that is very important for the business owner, and you should never, not have that in order, because that's your livelihood. You want to pass that on to the next generation. And
Right.
so that's important. But also, to me, the most passionate thing I have about, with so much injustice that's going on in the world, is racial profiling. It's real. Miss Mr. Sound Cipher, he was on NBS new station. When he got telling about the membership, and was interviewed.
That's why they didn't want him to do it.
Yes,
They
yes,
knew the power, because when you shared that story, they
yes.
knew the power that that man was going to have.
That's it. And so when you are able to, let's say you're pulled over, or your kids are pulled over. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. If they are pulled over and able to tap an app and have that
Listen,
attorney on the
share
line.
that story. Share that story that you shared with me, that you sent me. I don't want to give the whole skinny away. I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
remember if you remember about that woman and
Oh
what happened
yeah,
to
yeah. It
her.
was a.
Share that
Oh
story
yeah.
because
Oh
people
yeah.
need
We
to hear.
had a one of actually she's a pastor. And it was she was going to presentation. She was also a LegalShield associate, and she was going across the line every Thursday. And she got home, across the line about 1 o'clock in the morning. There she is by herself in the car, and the police officer pulled her over. Matter of fact, they came to her car cussing and howling and shouting, "Get out of the car! Get out of the car!"
Oh,
Now, what would you do in that situation? Of
oh,
course, she was frightened, but because she had LegalShield, she had already had her attorney on the line. And the attorney said, "Okay, this is my client, such and such officer. What seemed to be the problem?" And they went back and forth, and they ended up giving her a ticket. So she went to court because LegalShield will go to court with you. And that's the beauty of that. They will go to court with you. And so in the court, they were fighting the ticket, and then they found out um, reason why they pulled her over is because they had profiled her as a drug dealer,
mm,
because she had been going every week across the line, and they assumed that she was a drug dealer. So if she had not had that membership, if she had not had access that night, what would have happened to her?
mm,
So that's the scary part.
wow.
That's why we make sure that you or your kids are never caught in that situation, because it happened. And black men, we know they are the menu. They are the menu.
Yeah.
And so we make sure that they don't become the menu, they're empowered. So we've had many black men have pulled over. One man had got a rental car, and police officer came to his car, and cussing, not being polite. You got good cops, you got good people in every area. Of course, you got
Yeah.
that one bad one. Of course, let's
Yeah.
remember that it's not all cops. All cops are not. Most of them are very good cops. But my son's a police officer. He's a detective. So you
Mm,
got good people out there. But
mm,
you also got some that may not be so good and
yeah.
may not like you just because, unfortunately, you color your skin. Let's just be real with it.
Yeah.
Okay, because they've been looking at too much TV, maybe Fox News. But anyway, the thing is, anyway, the thing is, they came to his car cussing, treating him from, and they said, "Well," he said, "Let's search your car." I said, "Well, this is a rental car. I'm not gonna let you search this." He had his attorney on the line. Thank God. The attorney said you couldn't do this, and so he was able to say, "Have a good night." But if he hadn't had the attorney, they would have searched his car anyway. Probably would have had the gun on him. Probably said he was resisting arrest. God knows what would have happened.
Gee,
So, like I said, that's a big problem. And another big problem we're just not aware of. Most people say, "Well, identity theft." Okay, we think, okay, they can have my credit. Okay,
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
no, you better not think that, because that's not what they're after. They're after you. And we've had many people who have been pulled over. We had a teacher that was pulled over. A hooker has stole her driver's license,
Mm,
and a police officer pulled over. They ran the driver's license. They think that she was a hooker, right? Well, they treated her just like that. And they searched her, treated her with no dignity, because they thought that she really was that person. And
mm,
so that's a dangerous thing. People also getting stopped. You think you're getting stopped because maybe you really don't know why you're getting stopped. Maybe you thought speeding ticket. The
right.
officer's coming to your car because you have a warrant against you,
Mm, and you
because
realize it and
somebody
realize.
stole your identity. We had one man testimony. He wrote on it and said, "I'm not the guy," because they had stopped him so many times because somebody used his identity. He didn't have LegalShield, but he should have had it. But that's what happened. You're thinking you're getting stopped for one thing, and the police officer already pulled you up and thinking you are some kind of criminal. They're gonna treat you as such
Right.
because they don't know. And
Right.
so having access to that 24/7, you can have your attorney on the line, and also you can have your ID shield on the line too, explaining to them what it is. And so your identity theft, they give you $1 million to get your credit back together, get your name back together, and they don't fix your credit. If it was bad before, it's not going to change that. But they do put that thing right. They get investigators to find out who stole your identity, what happened, and get it back in order. And still seniors, they're the most vulnerable. We had one senior, it was so sad. I heard about it. She was waiting for her tax return,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody stole her tax return. The lady committed suicide
Ooh,
because she was so worried, waiting for that money. She needed that money. And that's what happens. One guy, I think in a foreign country, he had 1,600 tax refunds. 1,600.
Oh my.
Stole somebody's identity. Some people right now ain't got the tax return redact now because somebody stole their identity. And how are you going to explain that to saying, well, we sent the check out. Okay, what? So that's a process. LegalShield does all of that process, all the red tape, fill all that paperwork for you. So that is definitely an invaluable access. And so another thing they do that I love is credit monitoring.
Mm.
We know that credit is going to determine what kind of place we live in, what kind of race we get on everything. And they actually do counseling to let you know, okay, you may want to get rid of Netflix, okay, and save a little bit. Okay.
Right.
Maybe you don't need to do those now. Learn how to do those at home, okay?
Right.
Certain things that we can save and really pitch some pennies that we really wasted. We're making other people rich when we should be making sure that we got some money in our pocket in case emergency comes up. And so it's the little things that can improve your credit that you don't know can make that credit score go up. And you get when you borrow money, well, God said we're the lender, not the borrower, but in just in case you do, you can get it at a better rate.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't realize that people also doing those payday loans. You don't know that doesn't show up on your credit, but LegalShield can let you know somebody did a payday loan on you. And that's important because you run around, don't even know, and then somebody's calling you thinking it's you because somebody's got a payday loan in your name. So that people, and medical identity theft is really bad right now. I mean, that's the one that really people are not aware of. And child identity is bad as well. Children identity has been stolen. We had a young lady, heard a story. The girl, she was $1 million in debt. She didn't even know it until she went and applied for a student loan. Somebody had a house in her name, a boat in her name. I mean, that is a big thing. So children identity is a big problem too. But like I said, all these things are life event things that can happen to us, and we don't know how to fight them on our own. We don't have the resources, and they take a lot of time from work too. And one thing too is social media. They monitor that because we know that your child or you can be denied a job. The child could be denied going into a college.
Yeah.
Because what's on that social media platform.
Absolutely.
And so they monitor that and tell you, okay, you may want to take that down. That's not showing you your social media points are not looking good. Right. And so that's so important because you don't want to miss out on a job, and you certainly don't want your kids to miss out on a college opportunity because what they posted on their social media. So we don't realize most people, every time somebody look you up, they're looking at your social media platform. They seeing what you are, what you posting, and all of that stuff. So that's very important for your job, as anything else, even credit, anything. Okay, what kind of person is this really? Let's look at our social media thing. Do I even want to be involved with this person? And if you're a business owner, that's the first thing they look at is your profile. And so all those things are so important. So we just LegalShield just really takes the stress off of all those issues, life event issues that normally would say is a legal issue or that you wouldn't call an attorney for, right? Because the attorneys are too high, $250 or $500 just to consult them. But this is everyday issues. The attorney wouldn't take if I call the attorney for a $60 bill, they'll laugh at me. But with LegalShield, you can do that. You can do that. And that's the beauty of that. Another thing, rich do not sign anything without letting their attorney look at it.
Say that again.
The rich do not sign anything without allowing their attorney to look at it first. Now,
with legal right there, because that'll preach. I'm gonna stop you right there. The rich don't sign anything unless they call their attorney first.
Yes.
And see, this is one of the things that it's like one of my soapbox, and I'm learning to, I don't know all, and I'm not scared to say I don't know all, but I'll tell you what, if I don't know it, I don't have a problem telling you I don't know it, but not only am I going to tell you I don't know, but I'm going to get the answer. I'm going to find out the answer, because that thing will bother me and bother me and bother me I'm gonna find out
Yes.
the answer, and I'm gonna come back and tell you, okay, now you had asked me, and here's the answer. I didn't know, but here I got the answer now. And so
Yes.
you have to look at this, what we're discussing today. Again, Joyce Whittington of Ladies of Justice Legal Shield is our special guest today, talking
Mm.
about these life event stress, and these specific
Yes.
life event stresses and what they are and how that impacts everybody, every walk of life, whether you're a business owner or not a business owner, you are affected. So if you're
Yes.
listening, you just jumping on, whatever your reaction, your emotion
Mm.
is that you're feeling, because I know this is going to be hitting people left and right. I know this is going to be stirring up some stuff. And if it is, you are in the right place. Don't move. Stay watching. Stay watching,
Yeah.
because this isn't to upset
Mhm.
you. This is to empower you. This is to
Mm.
cause you to take action. This is to cause you
Yes.
to have knowledge, because what I realize is studying the rich, Joy,
Mm.
and their mindset and how they think and their attitude
Yeah.
and why they do things the way they do. You know,
Yes.
it all starts with a mindset. But you said that the rich don't sign anything unless they call their attorney. And they'll
Yeah.
tell you, and that you even watch it on the movies, you'll hear them say, "Oh, I know my rights. I know my rights," or "and I want to exercise my First Amendment right," or "I want to, I'm supposed to get a phone call and I want to exercise that right."
Yeah.
You hear that all the time on the movies or whatever, whatever. How many
Yes.
of us today can say we know our rights?
Mm.
How many of us today know what those rights are? How many of us
Yes.
today can say, I'm not signing anything unless I contact my attorney? Or I tell
Yeah.
you what, let me contact my attorney then. You know what I mean? How many of us will say
Yeah.
that? So that there's so much involved in that, because why do the rich say, I'm not
Mm.
signing anything until I contact my attorney? Or give that
Yes.
due phone call that I'm owed to. Why do they say that?
Mm.
What's going on in their mind?
Mm.
Why they say that? And
Yeah.
so this platform again is to share with you some of those things. And we've got to start changing our paradigm, because you shared so many stories now to wake us up, and
Mhm.
to kind of not only wake us up, but to say, yeah, I know somebody. We all have known somebody. We all
Yeah.
heard a story. So we know this is relatable, whether we are African American or not. You
Yes.
We're not making this about African American. So don't nobody comment. Don't nobody send
Yeah.
me a comment. Don't nobody send me whatever. We're not
Yeah.
making that about that. But it is a part of the issue that African Americans
Mhm.
face, and that, whether we want to discuss it or not, it is a reality. Not
Yes.
making this the total reality. It is a part of. So don't nobody send me nothing about you making this about African American, black or white. No, we're not doing that, because this affects us
Yes.
all. This affects us all. And this is
Yes.
not, and when you
Yes.
have these life stress events, they're not colorblind. Okay.
Yeah.
They're not colorblind.
Mhm.
They're gonna hit you no matter what race you are. But I want people to take away the riches from this session, because riches are being released right now. Keys are
Yes.
being released right now. Revelation is being
Mm.
released right now. Wisdom, discernment,
Mm.
knowledge is being released right now for whomever can grab a hold to what is being said today. Deliverance, my
Yeah.
God,
Yes.
my
Yes.
God.
Mm.
Ooh, I felt that.
Yes.
Ooh, 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 I felt that.
Mm.
Oh, I felt that. Deliverance, deliverance.
Yes. Yes.
Somebody is watching this, and
Mm.
they are in a situation, and I never thought that this would happen. I'm trying to hold back my tears.
Mm.
I never thought that somebody would be watching my podcast and find an answer that was, almost life threatening, or where they
Yeah.
had their back up against the wall and did not know what to do. I never
Yeah.
thought, but you are getting your answer today. You
Yeah.
that needed that deliverance, you're getting your answer today. You're getting your answer today. Deliverance is hitting your house, and it just simply came by getting the information. And
Yes.
right
Yeah.
at the right time. So I release that deliverance and I
Mm.
call it forth now. I call it
Yeah.
forth now. And it is
Yeah.
so. And it is so. Who?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't expect to go there, but I felt that.
Mm.
I felt that,
Yes.
saw that. So, but just
Yes.
grab a hold of these riches and run with it, because there's a reason why we keep hearing the wealthy keep getting wealthy and the rich keep getting, and the poorer keep getting poorer. Why is that? Let's start dispelling that. This is one of the reasons why the rich are getting richer and the
Mm-hmm.
poor are getting poorer, but we're here to change that. And if you're
Yeah.
middle class, you're in the you know, you don't consider yourself rich, this is
Mm.
how you can begin to just turn that around and excel and go up into those ranks, because it
Yeah.
comes from, but think all the stories that Dr. Joyce shared. Do you know
Mm.
how much money was retrieved?
Yes.
Was
Yes.
retrieved. Think
Mm.
of the money that was returned, the
Yes.
secret
Yes.
treasures, like just over a simple bill,
Yes.
where they lost service and they still had to
Mm.
pay for their service, even though they weren't getting service. Think of
Yeah.
what was given to them as a result by making a phone call. That
Mm.
didn't have to say, okay, we're not going to compensate you. However, they could have said, all right, we'll do something else. We'll give you a gift certificate, or they didn't
Mm.
have to give tangible money, but they
Yes.
did. That's riches.
Yeah.
That's added
That's it.
riches. So I want
Yeah.
you to grab a hold of that and not just look at this as, oh, that was a good podcast. No,
Mm.
this is much more than that. And if you think this is just a podcast and that was it, you missed
Mm.
the whole message of it. Because
Yes.
like I said, wealth is being released through having this guest on today. This had nothing to
Yes.
do with
Yeah.
me. This had nothing to do with me. I just connected with the
Mm.
woman. We connected. Here
That's
she
right.
is, and here we are. And she's releasing wealth. She's releasing
Yes.
wisdom, knowledge,
Mm.
deliverance,
Mm.
healing, healing,
Yes.
healing. So
Yes.
I just
Yes.
can't shout out enough, and so glad again to have you, Miss Joyce, and that you were.
Mm. I'm so glad to be here. And one thing, God's a God of justice. So I love our founders say we have a right to implore God's help in this because He's a God of justice. We give Him a mandate, rid the poor and the needy out of the hand of the wicked, and that's what we do with LegalShield. We make sure the average person. Sometimes, like I said, you can have money and still your rights are being violated, and so we make sure that you get justice because like I said, that having somebody watch your contract. Let me tell you how important it is. We had a young man bought a car, and that car dealer, they charged that child $2,500 for guess what? To bring his car to the front and clean it. He had called LegalShield. The attorney looked at the document while he was there at the dealership and said, "Wait a minute, okay, they got something here called Proud Car Prep," and he told them what it was. And believe me, they took it off.
They had something called what?
A car prep. They just want everybody's getting it. You
Oh,
just don't know because we just so happy to get the car right. We
oh,
don't look at that. We just sign on it. Just I got credit. Oh, praise God, I got the car.
right.
But they were sneaky. Every car place do charge you for some kind of called car prep. Depends on what they want to do. And so they charge that child. It's nothing but washing your car, maybe backing it out, bringing it to the front. But
Mhm.
they charge him $2,500 for that. And that's going to be financed on his note.
Mm.
That's the lack of knowledge.
Oh,
We perish.
honey, I feel rich just having you here, honey. I feel
That's
like I am just being dressed and
yes.
a scepter
Mm,
in my hand, a crown on my head, a robe
yes.
on me. I feel like I am being dressed. I don't know if
Yes.
you feel the empowerment that is coming through, but there is such
Yes.
empowerment right now. And if y'all are
Yes.
listening and watching, oh my God, grab your crown,
Mm,
your scepter, and grab your robe
yes.
and receive these jewels and the empowerment, honey. Man, gentlemen, wherever you are, oh, just receive that now. Receive it, receive it, receive it. And as
Yes.
soon as you get off this podcast,
Mm,
go and find this woman
yes.
and get this legal shield.
Yes. And that's the code.
I want to add now, she's
Mm-hmm.
women of justice, but it's just not for women. Yes,
Mm.
women, because she is has something with the women to empower the
Yes.
women and to pull them forward, because not all of us are she bosses. Not all,
Yeah.
not all of us are boss
Yes.
ladies. You know what
Yes.
and we do have some women out there that are behind the scenes, which is perfectly
Yes.
fine. But you got rights too. You can
Yes.
power too. So you can step out, and it's okay. So she's talking to those women, but it is just not for women, you guys that are out there, because I can
Yeah.
tell you the empowerment
Yeah.
that I feel and how well endowed I feel to know that you have that power to say, okay, if I have a piece of paper come in, or a contract coming to me, or some type of agreement, I can say, well, hold on, I've got the agreement. I'm gonna have to have my attorney look at it.
Yes.
How do
Yeah.
you feel? How do you feel just to be able to say that? Wait a minute,
Mm.
I need to sign something. Wait a minute, this is a contract. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because when we think of contract, the first thing that comes to me is, okay, I gotta read the fine print. And
Mm.
nowadays, everybody has so much on their plate. And to be
Yeah.
honest with you, when you know you got to sign something, how many of us, like she had said earlier, we just go ahead and we sign it because we just want to get this thing over with, and then we don't want to read all this paper, or we're so excited
Yes.
as what we're getting as a result of
Yeah.
that, we don't sign, that we just sign away that thing. But how
Mm.
empowering it is, and how would you feel to say,
Mm.
I've got to sign something. What's the due date for this? Or let me
Mm.
look that contract over. I need to have my attorney take a look at that. Now,
Mm.
if somebody hears you saying that, they're automatically going to double back and think that you have dollars.
That's right.
They're automatically going to think that you have
Yes.
dollars, and you
Yes.
may not, and you may feel like, no, I'm not bringing in 100,000 a year, but
Yeah.
what you just said sounded like $100,000 response.
Yes.
I want you
Yes.
all to say that to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I need to sign that. Let me have my attorney look that over. You hear it all the
Mm.
time, but for that to come out your mouth, just say that
Yes.
about how you feel. How do you feel empowered? Do you feel like,
Yes.
hey, wait a minute, I got the $1,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean, that's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Yes.
I know,
Yes.
I know, I know I'm
Mm.
getting with this woman. I know I'm gonna be calling her.
Mm.
I've connected, but we just kind of been going back and forth, writing.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
what I'm gonna do. And I've had Legal Shield. I'm very familiar
Mm.
with Legal Shield in the past.
Yes.
Da, 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 da.
Yes.
And so, like, don't wait till you get in trouble and then call these people.
Mm.
And then when
Amen.
you feel like the trouble is over,
Ah,
okay, let's go ahead and cancel that.
yes.
Don't do that. Don't,
Mm. Yes. Yes. Yes.
because you could use this service to help your family member.
Yes.
This service to
Yes.
help somebody else, even if you don't do Christmas, the
Mm.
holidays are coming, you guys. Forget
Yes.
about giving me clothes and a video game and all of this. Give me something that could save my life.
Oh, amen. Now
That could
that's the
save
key.
my life.
That's the
Give
key.
me a
That's the
legal
key.
shield. Give
Mm.
you know what? Give me an attorney.
Yeah.
I don't need
In
one
your
that I
back
can
pocket.
have. And
Yes.
the other
Yes.
thing I want to say is, I
Yes.
had discussed this, and I had another guest on this week, and I'm going to, after talking to you, I know I need to come on and do another session on this, but I want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
dream teams, having a dream team around you, and what
Mm-hmm.
team consists of, and the people that need to be a part of your dream team. Now, we hear dream, maybe we don't even hear dream teams, but even more so now, we need to have a dream team around us. And I had heard about this from one of my mentors. I got about five of them, and she
Mm-hmm.
broke down a dream team, and I don't hear people talking about dream teams, but I had another guest on yesterday, and that came back to me, and talking with you, this is coming back. And
Mm-hmm.
Legal Shield, what you do, Miss Joyce, you're a dream team. You're somebody that needs to be on somebody's dream team. And
Mm.
so a dream team, I'm going to say this real quickly, but I'm going to talk more about it in depth and do another session about it. But a dream team is
Mm-hmm.
whether you're in business or not. And I don't want to hog the whole show, but we're
Mm-hmm.
just kind of going back and forth, and friction is happening, fire, sparks are flying.
Exactly. Yes.
When we have a dream team now, and you could be a business owner or not, but if I'm going to just use an everyday person, because I always like to say we have a mixed multitude that listen in, right? And
Mm-hmm.
even though I say this is a business platform, I know I'm going to have people of all walks of life listening. So mixed multitude.
Right.
Okay. So having a dream team is having a coach. a mentor. And I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to use the business person. For a business person, you need to have, I'm going to just put it blanket. You need to have legal counsel as a part of your dream team. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to handle
Yeah.
all the legal stuff. Anything that is
Mm-hmm.
time, da 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 da. Any injustice, sort of to speak. You need to have
Yeah.
that as a part of your dream team. If you are involved in investing at all, looking
Mm-hmm.
into getting invested, because we're hearing so much about that, you need to have a financial planner, somebody
Yeah.
who's
Do that.
specifically focused on the investing piece, because we can have a financial planner and they've got their hands dibble dabble
Mm-hmm.
things that involve finance, but you want to have
Right.
somebody that's designated just to the investments, that's their
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Then you need to have, if you need to have somebody like who does the family part, the relationship part,
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
married, single, or whatever, you need somebody,
Yes.
a part of your dream team that
Mm-hmm.
is healthy with relationships. And I'm not just talking about marriage, but relationship, Joyce and I, relationship
Yes.
who's good with
Yes.
that. You need to have somebody for that end of life phase, or
Yeah.
the prep and all that. So, a CPA, a certified public accountant, when you're doing your taxes,
Mm-hmm.
you need
Yeah.
to have somebody who is going to look for where you should be getting finances back, money back, and
Yes.
not just
Yeah.
counting it just to say you're another number. That's a
Yeah.
part of having a dream team. Those are some examples of having a dream team around you,
Right.
having people that are designated to do these different things and that are going to steer you in the right direction and say, no,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
need to fix this. So that's a part
Yeah.
of the dream team.
Mm-hmm.
And what Miss
Yeah.
Joyce does, she's a
Mm-hmm.
dream team, part of a dream team. So if
Mm-hmm.
you have any type of life event going on, I
Mm-hmm.
know that we do because I felt it earlier.
Yeah.
It almost brought me to tears.
Yes.
This
Mm.
is this is what you need. This is one aspect of what you need to build the dream
Yes.
team. And you can have as many
Mm.
dream team members as you want. Start with getting somebody for legal. Okay.
Yeah.
Start with getting somebody for your taxes.
Yes.
Say that enough. I just interviewed my CPA on here and had she is
Yeah.
a ball breaker.
Yeah.
She's fierce. She's fierce. She's fierce. So
Yes.
start there with our taxes, because we all got to do our taxes,
Yes.
and we all have legal stuff in our life, whether we sign,
Yeah.
got a new car,
Mm.
got a new car, whether we started a new job, whether we start.
Yes. Amen. Yes.
If you got to sign a piece of paper, your attorney. So that's the start. So that's what I mean when I say dream.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I will
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk about that dream team and how to find people and how do you find a dream team? Where do you go? Who are the contacts? Because I do have been blessed to have a lot of resources and to connect with a lot of people because of doing things like this. So yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. And that is so true. We all need help to get to the next level and really keep us from falling down from the level that we're on. So you need all those things in play. And that is so true. And like I said, we really go back into the slavery. Booker T. Washington, he's really one of my heroes. Booker
Mm,
T. Washington, he was a slave, a former slave. And to think that he got himself a dream team and decided, that he made more self-made millionaires than Harvard and Yale put together, even right after slavery.
say that again.
Made more self-made millionaires than Harvard and Yale put together in his time. And so that's the power of getting, when we power ourselves, we empower others to be great. And that's what he did. He didn't let his circumstances, I've been a slave, the Jim Crow, they hate us. He didn't get focused on that. He got focused on what God said. I can do all things through Christ. He
Mm,
didn't focus on the naysayers or what's all opposition, because God before you, who dare to be against you? That's the key. We got to stop blaming this person or that person, for we have to take responsibility for ourselves. We got to step up and step up. Okay, I deserve the best. I can't wait for the government to give it to me. I can't wait for the president. I can't wait for this one or that. I'm the president of my own house. You're the president of your own house. So it doesn't matter who's in the house, White House, but who's in your house. That
mm.
matters.
Oh, say that again.
So
Oh,
that is the key. Because Republican or Democrat, they're not going to make you rich. You got to decide who you are in your own house, and we need to be the hero in our own movies. We got to start letting our kids look up to us instead of everybody else, They're looking up to this movie star or this basketball player, this football player. They will never look up to you because you are the queen and the king of that house. So we want to,
Yes, mic
yes,
drop. That was a mic drop. Oh my God, that was such a
that's it. That's
Woo!
it. We are the greatest thing in our house, not the government, because the government need our help right now. I'm telling you. So we got to get to mindset. We got to change our mindset and know who we are in Christ and who Christ is in us. We're
Yes.
here to rule, reign, and dominate. He put us in charge here.
Listen. That's a mic drop. There's nothing else to be said. I mean, if y'all didn't get this out, then you just gonna have to listen to this again and listen
Mm.
to it again and again, because I know I will be. I know I will be. But sometimes I need to listen to my own stuff, and I'm not saying that to brag, but it's
Yeah.
like you have to
Yes.
keep yourself in remembrance.
Yes. Yes.
You have to
Yes.
keep yourself in remembrance. You know what I mean? You got to replay your accomplishments. You've got to
Yes.
play your victories. You've got to learn to encourage yourself and
Yeah. Amen.
empower yourself. And you've got to have a
Yes.
reservoir
Mm.
draw from to do that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So if you don't have a reservoir, or you got to sit
Mm.
down and think for a minute, how do I do that? Then you need to have that Selah. You need to have that moment where you meditate and bring it into remembrance and pull it
Yes.
back. And when every time you just feel like, discouraged or whatever,
Yes.
you pull out of that reservoir, you pull out of that testimony, that test that became a testimony, that
Mm.
over, that healing, that deliver, however you want to call it, so that empowerment, guys.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
let anybody take that away from you, because you
Amen.
have gained that ground. You've gained that
Yes.
ground. I'm
Yes.
going to close us out. Dr. Joyce, if you have a couple more minutes after the show to stay on with me.
Sure.
This was
Mm-hmm.
just a mic drop, and I want to thank you again. But before we go, most importantly, how can people reach you? Email, how can folks reach you?
Okay. My phone number, they can reach me at 682-215-5810. They can email me at jwhitti101 at gmail.com. That's jwhitty, jwhitti101 at gmail.com.
Praise, 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 praise. Thank you again for having us, guys. That's going to wrap it up. I wish I could keep her on a little bit more. I mean, fire has erupted in the studio. There has been such an exchange. Gems have been dropped. We have been given crowns and scepters and robes. We have been given such empowerment. Some of us have been receiving
Mm.
healing and deliverances. Some of
Yeah.
us just did not know and needed some knowledge, and now they got the knowledge and they can run and do what they
Yeah.
need to help somebody, a loved one, or
Yes.
somebody. And
Yes.
that's what this is all about, and why I love to have guests such as Dr. Joyce on my platform. Do I think I'm the biggest and the greatest and the mightiest? No. And that is why I have these guests on. Because I know I am not the biggest and greatest, and I'm not scared. I'll be the first
Mm.
to tell you I'm not the best, whatever. But that's why I have these guests on, to add value, so that you can
Mhm.
walk away empowered, have something tangible that's going to change your life, save
Yeah.
a life, save
Yes.
a life.
Yes.
And
Save
so
a life.
that's going to wrap it up for me today, guys.
Yeah.
I'm Valerie Williams
Mm.
from Dimensional Talent Streams. Again, follow me on YouTube, Dimensional Talent Streams. Like, subscribe, comment. Follow me on ljdnpodcast.com every Tuesday and
Mm.
Saturday. And stay tuned, because Dimensional Talent Streams is going to be on radio, and we'll be managing that radio station that will be 24/7.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that, guys. Again, I am Valerie Williams, redirecting you in being fruitful and multiplying. Until next week, everyone, take care.